No, a lot of them, they fight, I started going through them all.
Where's my?
I mean, hope you become TikTok famous.
Okay, so I restarted the recording so you can go into the. Hold on, we do not have the package. Tonight. It's there.
It's in the executive session.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there.
Oh, okay, got it, sorry.
The minutes are behind the
Got it,
executive.
okay, sorry.
You think I don't have
Because I wasn't there.
is the plan review?
Okay. All the plans are here, so. I can give you those.
When it gets there.
Okay. So being 7:33, I'd like to open the meeting for the Bellingham Board of Health for January 24th. Myself, Ben Forty Chair, Vice Chair Trish LaClaire, Member Mike Hennessy, Agent Bruce Wilson, and his clerk Laura Renaud, actually recorded for Laura Renaud, and is Dana here?
I was just looking for the agenda.
Tim Eric Hardy, Building Commission.
Did you say Robbie Griffin?
Robert Griffin III, tobacco and food agent. Sorry, Rod.
The original.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay, so first order of business is the minutes from
Rob, you can hear us okay, right?
January 10th.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay,
Okay, so minutes for January 10th, we'll review those now. So, just one item to add, I guess, since I'm reading it, we requested a larger than 1,200 because I thought on March 3rd, well, March 31st, we would increase to a 5-member. So I put in to cover so we don't have to go below the current stipend. As it is, once we're a 5-member board, we'll have a net of $20, I think, so. Whatever, but it is what it is.
We don't do this for the money.
Well, no, I'm not. But the other question someone says, it's not the amount divided, it's if a new member comes in, they get that amount. I don't think that's true. But anyway, we can correct, we can find out about that. So that's gonna be up to, I believe, Laura put it as 2,100.
I thought I saw it somewhere in here.
Yeah. So
Didn't say
anyway,
anything.
it's 12 is what you
Yeah, but-
requested.
Yeah, but I did see it,
Is it?
more, did more email or something?
It's
No,
probably
I-
something for the FinCom. If I have to defend it.
It's in the budget right here.
Or the budget, okay,
Yeah, it's running a new business budget 2024,
Yeah,
okay, fine.
but it was the 1,200 annually.
right, but it's.
It's gonna be,
different.
yeah, it's gonna be 20, like,
2,100.
So should we have her?
Yeah, I think we should have. it. Yeah, I originally said 2, but 2 doesn't divide by 3. So, and 5, so 21 does divide by 5, that's why I did 2, but Laura put in 21.
you're doing infantry math, Benny.
Okay, fine.
All right, so.
So
when you get
after
to the
that,
budget,
With the exception of the correction for the budget, motion to approve minutes.
okay.
I
Okay.
abstain.
Okay.
I abstain.
Oh, okay, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstention. Okay. 2 ayes and 1 abstention, okay. Moving along, it's the 2024 budget, final version. To finance for approval.
That's
That's where you start. Okay.
well, we have to correct what we just pointed out for the 2024.
Oh, okay, so it's
So we can't have the final version.
No,
correct. But I'm pretty sure Laura told me that she put in that. And she said, you know, you'll be going there and here's the number. That's the fine. I'm not sure when that happens. I think it's February. but-
Yeah, I think I have a February 1st deadline for mine, so I assume it's the same.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when you meet the thing, before the May meeting,
Yeah,
it's usually a February budget meeting, right?
Uh, I don't have to go until I think like May.
Okay. I don't care. I'll be going.
Well, 'cause it's-
One of you guys want it.
It's gonna be like the supplement. I mean, I go for my supplemental budgets, so I don't know how that happens. Like if I needed more money,
Right,
to get me through.
right. Well, Laura also put in 500 for another category, instead of taking it from professional. She said we were always draining it down, so she added 500. So, I'll be going there for two things, I guess.
And it says Laura's overtime. I don't understand. So she worked 35 regular hours a week
Yes.
and then where's the overtime?
I don't know.
So, no, it's her,
Overtime's a separate line item.
well, she doesn't have an overtime.
She's not.
I thought she had put that, she's proposing it. So,
Okay,
Michelle, has an overtime line item that I have.
Oh,
Laura's never had one, so she has to leave, you know what I mean?
oh, I see. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to keep her something.
Yeah, so, she needs one.
does she want to
Okay.
stay? Over her hours?
No, she wants a line item for
She wants-
overtime because
Okay.
you can't get,
Like, for example, she could come in on Friday.
this is what's going on now. Look, we could hire another person, but we're not gonna get funded for that.
Right.
So we need a little bit of a fall off for overtime. You know, if she has to stay, she has to stay. you know.
Right.
We need coverage. We do have.
Yeah, as long as she's willing to do that.
No, and she's willing to do it. She said, how do I get a, overtime line? I said, let's get one in your budget. And,
So do we have to make a motion for that, or are you guys just gonna add it?
oh, no, you don't have to.
No, I think I'll.
That has to go in front of FinCom.
If you guys are, yeah, this goes in front of her.
Does she do it or I do it? I'm doing
Um,
it. As the budget person, well, the chair usually the budget person, right?
Well, so you're gonna review the budget,
Right.
and if you guys don't agree with, anything that's on there, then you would have her change it, and then when she goes in front of the town, you know, and when she goes to present her budget, when they both go in there, you know,
Okay.
it would be the way you guys want it.
Okay.
You know, if you guys want to change.
She'll go for hers, I'll go for this.
So is-
stipend stuff.
The only question I have, so is her, is she, how much is she looking to be budgeted for the overtime?
I think it's 1734, right?
What per?
No, total. I don't know how much. it is.
So, it would be a dollar amount that you would put like, you would ask for maybe, 2 hours per week, you know, so that's
Okay.
100 hours. So whatever she gets paid per hour, that's how she would probably have
Okay,
calculated.
but right
it.
now it looks like there's.
How much is in there
1700.
for overtime? What'd she put in there for a dollar amount? Is there a line item for
Yeah.
overtime?
It
Yeah.
says, 1734, so we need to know how many hours.
What's 1734? 1700?
1734,
Okay, so
because the regular salary is 49,395, so divide 1734 by some
well,
number.
I need her hourly.
Oh, wait, hold on.
wage.
Well, I guess you could do it easily, it's 49,395 a year. 35 hours a week times
49 what?
49,395.
Divided by 35.
35.
No.
No,
I have,
Divided
but
by,
mine's a whole different system. I have units.
1200,
divided
50
by,
weeks.
Breaks everything down like Barney's stuff.
52,
Divided by 52.
and then divided by 35.
Yeah, 949 divided by
35.
34.
No, is Laura salaried or is she an hourly person?
Salary, but overtime.
No,
is
no,
paid
they,
by-
no, they get paid by the hour.
Yeah.
It's paid by the hour, but it,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hourly.
It's hourly.
it's hourly, but I mean,
So-
she usually
so
puts in
like-
more than, again, I just using what I know. So, you know, I have my hourly rate for my position,
Right.
but I'm salary, so I don't get overtime, even though there are some weeks I work 60 hours a week.
Right,
I still get,
you get compensatory time sometimes.
I still get my same amount, no matter whether I do. the
Yeah,
40 hours.
they're hourly, so that's why they.
Okay,
What is her normal hours a week though?
35.
35.
Oh, it is 35.
so are we gonna build in like 2 hours a week?
So,
Do the calc.
yeah,
How
so
much hours?
times, let's see, times, 1, 4, that's 2 hours a week. And she didn't budget for, if there's only 17.
Only 1734,
That's like,
that's all of it.
that's like,
10.
it's 1.5 maybe a week.
Okay, well,
That's not that much.
Yeah, why don't we just, I mean, and how often do you need her?
Well, so,
is Michelle too?
yeah, Michelle has an
Why don't
over,
we just make it
What's
2?
Michelle?
I think her overtime, line item is probably right around, 5,000, but we don't use it all, you know, it's as needed.
You want
So-
more than less. So why
Yeah,
don't we
oh,
just
yeah,
go
so if
with-
you
Yeah,
don't
so,
use it, yeah,
so
yeah.
if if you wanted to have her change it to like 4,000 or something.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Yeah, we'll match.
It's not, whatever doesn't get used goes back
Yeah,
into the.
we'll
general
just match Michelle.
Michelle's 35 hours too?
She's 35.
Yeah, so they should just be the same.
Yeah.
Whatever Michelle has.
That's fine.
Laura.
That's five.
I think, but just, if
Okay.
you want to do it the same, if you want to do it the same, I'll have her change it.
Yeah, we'll check, and I think it's gonna be Michelle.
Okay, so this won't be a final, right?
This was submitted already, but
We can make changes.
You can amend it.
Yeah, we can still change it.
I don't know where she came up with that number.
I don't know either, but
Probably what she wants to do.
Right.
Yeah, that could be, because, look, we have a part-timer. And we picked up a woman that's part-time, Judy,
Right.
and she's working out fantastic. And
what about Trudy? Trudy?
that's what I mean, Trudy.
Oh, Trudy.
Yeah,
Trudy.
and
Judy?
but we can't, she can't work over.
She can only work so many
19
hours
because that
because of the-
constitutes benefits, so I can't do that, so
Right.
if they have to have this fallback, you can't not have an overtime line item because
Right.
otherwise they just gotta go home.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
so
Okay.
it's just a response.
We'll just
Just match it.
Just match it.
Let us know.
All right, that's
And
fine.
have
Only
her-
wants to do an hour and a half.
Have her put it on the next
Better to have
meeting
more than one.
that we've
And then
approved
just
that.
do the-
If you guys come in, that's what you want, I'll have Rich, we'll have her change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Match
We'll just
it.
match it.
have her match it. Yep.
That's fine.
And then if we need her on Friday, like, for example.
That's
We
right.
could have her on Friday.
Well, so
If she- if
now,
you-
yeah,
She
so,
doesn't-
Um, They're all today.
no,
No.
I changed it.
Yeah,
I had to because.
We're making sure we have coverage. Friday is possible.
So now they're all
No coverage.
They're all made,
They're
yeah.
doing one and out, so
That's good, though.
Yeah.
that was last week.
And they're able-
Call Laura.
Appreciate it.
they're able to get more hours to if they want it.
Right.
But if they don't, they can take it off during the week at a different time.
Right.
When I have Trudy there, you know, so we're trying to just make sure the town has coverage and the people, when they call, they're talking to somebody.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it's really bad.
it's service. We're just trying to provide a service for the business, that, you know, a good service. So, and that's what it takes. So they're gonna alternate Fridays.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's good for us too.
Yes, yeah, if you have to call.
Yeah.
You'd be able to get some information.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody's fortunate that the disciplines overlap, they can answer questions,
Yeah.
either the building
Yeah.
or the.
They can answer each other. Yeah. It's good.
It's always been like that.
It's a good thing. It's getting better and better now with the software. So much information at your fingertips if we get it refined. We're working on the Board of Health now. I'll get that.
Talk
Yeah.
about that, right, Robbie? Harmonizer,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Tim's figured it out.
Well, we're gonna add categories. That's gonna organize it, right, Bruce? I mean, we went over it all day.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of things that we've
Yeah,
got. to take it
What Robbie was saying last meeting was, if you go into a temp thing, there's only room for one, and then he has to write it in. I said, that is ridiculous. You know, the other software allows that. I know, we don't have the other. But he has to write in, that needs to be part of the permit.
We can write tickets to correct anything. So it
Correct.
just has to be brought to our attention.
As long as
You know what I
that's
mean?
done.
We can
That'll
request,
help.
this is what we need. They go in, they figure
How
out how
long
to
does it
do.
take them to get back?
They're usually pretty responsive.
Well, I put one in for Board of Health on Friday. I had it
And it was
today,
Monday, yeah.
had it today done. So we put in a couple more for Board of Health.
Now, do we pay for every ticket we add to it?
No,
Okay, it's part of the contract, okay, good. Because you know, like when you upgrade the software, someone sometimes says, well, there's a charge for that, you know. Get very expensive.
So we gotta go for do we have to approve the budget or?
No, Tim said, oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you,
Yeah.
it's already been submitted, but it hasn't been approved.
Gotta go, Dennis will kind of look at it, then
Well,
the,
it's
then
not
the
really
final.
us that approves it, though.
No, but if you guys see something in here that you want to tweak, just make a note of it and make a motion at the end that you're approving this budget, but with the changes. And then
So,
we'll change it.
Motion to approve the budget with the changes we just discussed.
Okay.
Right, I second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried, okay. 2023 permit updates.
2023 permits are continuing to come in. We have a handful of phone calls that need to be made, a few that are missing a little bit of information or a reminder that, you know, they need to pay that darn fee and get it in.
Okay. Now they're only, like, when Laura put this in, she said she went from December 15th to January 16th. So you're over the 30 days. So technically, you know, we don't want to have people in the middle of March or February having no permit fee and still operating business. What we said was, if you're more than 30 days, remember we talked about
Mhm.
not doubling, let's not get crazy, but actually doing what the water department does, the tax department does. It's $5 surcharge, 14.75%. Now, if it's our fault.
Yeah, well, that's what I want.
Here's the thing I don't like.
Yeah,
We need to fix
we
this.
have issues.
People can use that as
Like
an
I said.
excuse.
There are some permits lingering out there that don't fit in the category, so they don't get flagged. And we're filtering through them now, so we won't punish anyone that it was.
No, no,
in
but
a
I'm
software,
saying-
But I understand what you're saying. If they're just not paying, they're not paying.
Is there anything similar to what BP we ran into?
No, it's gonna
Probably
be
not.
them not paying.
That was the signature.
Okay.
They didn't fill the application out completely. Like in other words,
Right, so
Yeah,
it's
it
not
could be
like they
stuck.
put it in as a
Yeah.
if you don't fill out
No,
completely,
it gets-
fire department takes like that.
Yeah,
Red.
well,
Does the building?
yes, so if they don't, if they don't fill it out totally, they can't submit it.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
okay, good.
It has to, there's certain fields that are required.
Okay.
So they can't submit it if they
So
don't.
if they
fill
don't
out.
submit it, we don't know if they can't
If
pay.
they didn't
right?
submit it,
They can't
then they're
pay.
operating, and they're still operating, they're operating without a license, and they haven't made an effort to come down here. And,
Right,
and
right.
if they can't get through the software,
Right.
because they don't have the right information, that's on them.
Does
They
it
gotta come down.
notify them?
Do they
No,
come
because
down?
they can't,
No, we will notify them if we send,
we can only notify them
can.
if they put an application in,
Right.
and they put all the fields in, and they submit it, they hit submit, and it came
Yeah,
to
what I'm
us.
saying is, if they're filling it out, like you said, kicks it back. They just say, well, I tried.
Yeah, no, that's
They
not,
have
that's
to
not
come down.
acceptable.
Is that not? Because
Yeah.
it should be written right
Yeah.
in the bottom.
Or they need to call and say, hey, I'm having a
Call the
problem.
building, call the help.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that is in there, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm doing mine, and, I submitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I submitted it, but the things I need are waiting, they're coming in slowly, that's
Yeah.
fine, right? But at one point.
Yeah, if you're waiting for uploads to, you can still submit your permit,
Correct.
and you can upload it as you.
But technically, if I'm going for a permit, I'm not a business, so I'm not doing it, like a demo.
Yeah.
But if I'm a business and I submit it, uploads gotta come in, and I don't do it, then I'm operating without a business, a license, and I haven't paid. I really care about.
Well, the uploads are conditions of your permit, that's all.
Okay.
You know,
But when do you pay the fee? Like
you pay the fee after all the, like, say you apply for a permit, and there's certain things that you need to submit, uploads, like a serve safe, or,
Okay.
yeah, that kind of thing. We don't issue it until everything's submitted. Uploaded, then he reviews it, or I review it, depending on what it is.
But once it happens, like.
We create the fee, and then they have to pay it. Once we create the fee,
then they get another email.
they get an email saying, go in and pay your permit.
Okay. And that's done by
That's
three ways, right? I guess. I don't like it. I do the one that's the cheapest. You go in and pay.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah. The other one says 3%.
yeah, a lot of them come in and pay,
2%.
a lot of them. come in.
I mean, I'm used to doing it the old way.
Yeah.
You have to do
You
everything.
can,
Yeah.
it's their
That
option.
makes sense. I was
Okay.
thinking-
So, I guess, Bruce, it's only like 8 days, right? What's that, 24?
Well, can we talk to Robbie about this too? Because this is what Robbie does.
Yeah.
And he keeps.
I wanted to know like how many of these things I'm gonna sit.
Yeah, so Robbie, can you give us an update on the permit? And what's going on your end with the harmonizer? Because Tim thinks he's got it all figured out now.
Well, I only have things on my end figured out. If he's having issues, I need to know what his issues are,
Yeah,
you know?
okay. Go
Well-
ahead, Robbie.
My issues are the same issues that Bruce is having. We have permits in there that when they merge them, when they put out the 2023 renewals, that we can't find the information that we need. The permit, the inspection is showing, but the file is not showing up, or what have you. And we've run into a number of issues on top of, other issues I've asked Permit Eyes to fix that they've told me they can't, in regards to the inspection sheet itself, because they have what they have for the inspection document. But aside from that, in regards to permit renewals, I'm waiting on some things from the state in regards to tobacco. They haven't put out their updated list of retailers with an active license yet. So I've been kind of calling for each one that we don't have on file yet, because they haven't processed all of the renewals. So I know that our deadline for tobacco is February 1st, but a majority of our retailers have applied, with the exception of a couple that had some either back taxes too, which I know Bruce and I have spoken to or spoken about.
Save more.
To say more. which is actually a question for the board as well, and something Bruce and I have been kicking around. I know when we just had our situation with BP, town council informed us that the permit holder was the DBA basically. So the corporation was the holder of the permit, and not the landlord. In this case, it's also a landlord that is currently behind. So are we able to take permits from the franchise or from the lessor or lessee at this point if they're not the ones that actually owe the fee?
I would say that they can't.
No, because then
It's
it
still
would be the same situation where we deny it, mainly for the school loan and not checking it. So it's not the same, but isn't it the same if it's a sale and not a sale, a lease, you know? It is a change of name to the permit, which means is all the questions have to be answered. In the other case here, same wise, no school near it, so. But it's still a violation of the application.
Right, but so it's the property, not the DBA, correct?
Yeah. So the person that's, or I should have worded that differently. The person that's currently doing business at the property is not the person that owes the fees.
Right. So it's the bit,
So the business owner should not be,
should not be held responsible for the
or the
land.
property owner not paying their taxes.
Okay,
Right, no.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Right. If the location where the business is being conducted is tax delinquent, don't matter.
Right.
Really?
Then he needs to pay his taxes.
I was gonna say, 'cause that's how our bids
He's,
are.
he's hurting his tenant
Right.
by not paying his taxes. That particular business, so, Thursday and Friday, Bruce and I got involved in it. So he's so far behind right now. He needs to come in and either make a payment plan.
Right.
At the, collector treasurer's office.
Right.
I had a meeting with her, Sandra, and I informed her that, their fuel permit is coming up at the end of January. I asked Chris to hold it. You guys haven't issued any licenses.
The tobacco also.
Right, because he's back to 2019. So he owes a lot of taxes, and that's, I think now it's gonna hit that percentage rate of interest where it's just gonna keep compiling,
Right,
the high interest rate.
right.
But he owns the property, he needs to maintain the taxes on it
Right.
before we let anyone conduct business there. I'm not trying to punish the leasee, but
But the leasee pays him, so he can pay his taxes.
that's
He
right,
pays
that's
the-
right, but that's a legal thing, that's between them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if
But
the
I was just
leasing
saying,
is
like-
paying this guy, he's not paying his
Yeah,
taxes.
the leasee,
So it is linked. to
the
that, right?
leasee actually has the permits in and is paying the fees, but we just can't issue it because of the
Oh, he
property
pays
is
the
in
fees,
tax
so I guess he's-
title.
So everything
Like
is,
the tax
so everything is up to this, to the property, not
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
DBA, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he does hold, if he holds the licenses and everything, who holds the licenses, the landlord or the leasee?
The store.
The store, they're in his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so, it's the property is delinquent in tax, we can't issue anything.
That's for anything.
Yeah, that's for anything.
That's not.
So he
just
can't
for
pay it, right, yeah. I know.
The landlord,
We've had
No,
this.
no, I'm saying the leasee
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
pay the permit, so he's operating without permits.
well, he can, we can't issue permits to him because it's delinquent.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
But if you
This
pay
guy,
the fee, would we say like, okay,
Well,
pay
we
the-
can't
Yeah,
actually take
but-
the
so-
fee, he can
no,
pay it.
no, we didn't take the fee.
we didn't take it.
So,
The minute, but you don't.
so
take it.
it's not just gonna be the tobacco,
Yeah.
it's also gonna be because his
There's
food
food there
is.
too.
And
He owns the state.
And
their
fuel
deal
storage.
otherwise.
Yeah.
We'll get that. without
And
tax.
fuel
Yeah, so there's another gas
So
station.
that's the leverage, that's the leverage that, they, we, with us not issuing licenses to operate, that's our leverage for him to pay his taxes or come in and make a substantial payment,
Right.
His
to-
tenant says, I'm leaving, and I'm
And you're
gonna
part-
break this lease.
you
If you break it, because of-
because-
you know,
He would have a ground, he would have some ground to stand. on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's-
He wouldn't be responsible for that. There's no way, but he would have to go to court,
correct, yeah.
because the guy's on a swing. But whatever, I'm not even gonna talk about that.
Right.
It's just,
Yeah,
the guy needs to pay his taxes before we issue permits.
So Robbie,
Then
how many of
there's
those do we
that,
have
right?
like that? Only one or two?
There, just that one that happens to be that issue, and there's actually a part two to that. The way that our tobacco regulations are written, if they don't have their permit by the 1st, they wouldn't be eligible to get another one because they are within 500 feet of another retailer.
Oh, really?
I mean,
So
again,
they be ground, wouldn't they be grandfathered though?
Which retailer?
That.
Vets.
Vets is
But
directly next
doesn't-
door.
Yeah, but Vets doesn't have theirs. I was just in Vets. Vets has no tobacco.
They
Yeah, he
pulled
hasn't
it,
paid
but they,
either. He's got a tax issue too.
No, the tax issue's been taken care
It has, but his permit has
So,
been issued.
Ron,
It's in there today.
that's got a tobacco license, I thought he did.
of. Is tobacco license? Is
Is
it
that-
on my DOR?
Vets, I am waiting on their DOR license. That is their issue.
See, they have a DUI license.
So they're not selling right now anyway.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean.
but he can keep the permit.
Right.
No, well, he can't get the permit because.
It's got the DOR.
But you said he.
So both of them will be delinquent within 500 feet, whoever pays for it wins.
Right, so it's so whoever pays, whoever pays their taxes first gets the permit.
Okay, the other one goes out the door, okay?
Well,
We have to be-
or either that, or you
That's what
guys.
he paid.
Oh, they did?
You
Okay.
guys
That's what
have
we just
the,
said.
you guys have the.
Yeah, that's been in agreement with the.
We'll reinstate you, but we want you to come in, you know, or
Okay.
something, or
Okay,
put some conditions on it.
Okay.
Okay, so Vets is gonna get theirs back. It's just a
Yeah, I'm
paperwork.
assuming, Robbie, is that what you're saying, Rob?
Yeah, I believe that Vets has theirs coming back. It just the state hasn't processed their CT3T yet, or at least they haven't given me a copy of
So
it
then-
with the updated one.
So then Save More is not gonna get a license.
Does Save More, are they all set with, the tobacco?
We can't.
Dave Moore
State-
has all
we
the
did
documents from the state.
Okay.
We treat everybody the same, no.
Okay, all right,
favoritism.
Okay, so Rob, when that is completely done with the DOR and gets our license, I guess you need to deliver the news, no matter what the owner does on the property, Save More will no longer be able to sell tobacco.
Well, so.
They can sell food, but they
Yeah,
can't sell
but
tobacco.
can't the board make a decision?
We
No, we can't,
We
it
can't make
affects the
it
BP decision, we just.
because of the issue we just had. We
Right.
can't do that.
Wow.
And honestly, we've had a lot of problems with Save More.
We have,
A lot.
the year after pandemic, we moved $30,000.
So, Bruce, maybe you want to reach out to this guy tomorrow and let the leasee know that, hey, look, this is the situation. If your landlord doesn't pay or make an effort to pay
You're not gonna
taxes,
be able to renew.
you're not
your
gonna
license.
sell tobacco ever.
Right.
So,
You know, it's not
You still
fair,
sell
it's
food,
not
yeah.
fair, it's not fair to him.
I know.
What's happening.
Robbie,
really
you
not
would do
fair.
that, right? Not Bruce, or because you're the tobacco agent? or-
Oh,
I-
yeah.
Have two permits, on both of us are kind of involved.
I was gonna say, either of us could. I spoke to Dan recently, which is actually part of the reason I had brought that up, and only because we made the decision with Save More, where the permit was held by the lessee. I didn't know if we could, how that would change, obviously, where it's taxes versus, just a permit being issued. I wasn't sure what the variation would be, if there is any.
So,
But yeah, if Bruce is able to give him a call tomorrow, he would probably be able to touch base with him before I would, just the work schedule wise, or
Oh,
if
yeah,
not, I
okay.
can give him
So
a call.
just so that, again, it's just
You
so
first.
I'm clear. If Save More gets this agreement, they're in here to work something out with the treasurer and collector, they're good before February 1st. So before next week.
As long as
Yeah.
it's before February 1st.
If the landlord basically isn't responsive or says, I'm not doing it, they're stuck. They're not gonna get their tobacco permit.
Yeah, then that permit would basically die until Vets it gives theirs up essentially.
Okay.
So Bruce, if you convey to
Oh, I've.
the owner, not the owner,
more,
but leasee, that if he talks to the landlord and tells him his tobacco license is gonna be in jeopardy permanently, if he doesn't come in and meet with.
I'm gonna be down there, they're in the town in the morning,
Yeah.
yeah, get soil testing there.
Tobacco.
Oh, he'll lose food forever too?
No, just the tobacco.
Yeah.
But he still wouldn't be able to get his food.
No.
Either.
And then.
No,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
But the food permit is not affected by 500 feet or by.
No, no, okay.
Yeah, but the
I'm
food-
just saying.
But the
It's-
tobacco, yeah, would be forever.
Just going on what we just went through, tobacco is a big portion of.
Correct, yeah,
Yeah,
very
because
big.
people always want
So
that.
Rob, the
Yeah.
next question I have is.
Yeah.
Unlike the one with BP, if this is a renewal and this, and not like the other one, couldn't be a renewal because there was a new application needed to be checked off. But if it's a renewal, you don't fill the application every year, do you?
They do. So he filled out the same application, and at this point,
Oh, okay.
the only
Renewals
distinct
is all the same.
But
difference
it's-
between
But it's been an existing current license
Yeah,
that
I'm
was,
saying,
that was
it'd be
granted.
grandfathered,
It was
right?
granted, but not if it's gone.
Well, not if it's gone, but I'm saying if it's not
It's
gone,
not gonna
and
help.
the other guy gets his best, and you get yours, because of the payment plan before February first, it goes through.
Yeah, as long as it's done, but again, that's why I wanted to be clear, because sometimes
February
people on the uptake,
Right.
it's.
No, no,
February,
you got it.
February first is it. If it's
Correct.
February 2nd and he's in here, too bad, so sad, my
Correct.
fault, your mistake.
Correct.
He's
If
done.
one does it, and the other guy doesn't do it till February second, he's done.
Well, Vets already has everything.
That's already has it, yeah, okay, fine. Okay,
We'll
so,
get that figured out.
Rob, you need to
That's-
reach out to them, and make sure they understand that.
Well, I was in there last night and he had nothing.
No, but that's the DOR. holding them up. What do you-
That's a good deal, yeah, you can't use stuff out, you know, collecting tax.
Robbie, is there anything else that you can think of that you're having issues with, or?
The only other non-renewal that I know of at the moment is actually Best Buds. Still has to pay the other half of their fine. So they're supposed to do that before the first, and at which point we can issue the permit, but they still owe an additional $4,000.
Are they within 500 feet because you have the store across the street?
Exactly. So if they don't have it paid by the first, then they also would not have their permit.
Like a chess game?
Yeah, it's checkmate.
So they can't have a food permit within 500 feet.
No,
I mean,
Back.
To that, we should add another,
Liquor store across the street.
another store that sells.
Forget about that. You gotta-
We did that, so we wouldn't have.
We got to have a map here, so that, you know, we know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, it's right, it's literally right across the street.
Literally, yeah, okay,
That'll put that guy out of business, because that's what he sells.
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
I wonder if he knows that.
Well, hey, reach out to him, Rob.
No, because.
February first is the deadline for him as
Yeah,
well.
he's aware. I've been in contact with him several times, and he's
Okay.
supposed to come in and make a payment, I believe, on the 30th or 31st, whatever per our last conversation. He's supposed to be in here the last day of the month.
Wow.
Okay, I like people pushing it to the very edge. But whatever, you take your chances, I guess, okay,
So 740 Pulaski.
yeah, 7:40, okay, so, so, yeah, I asked her, Laura, to look up, if there are any monitoring wells. No. Listed.
There's none.
Okay, because there are several garages.
But not within the 400-foot radius.
Okay, fine, okay. So that, my question there was, if there were monitoring wells, we could push the issue whether or not.
Isn't
contamination.
there a catch basin right across the street from
There
there?
is, but that's not a monitoring, 15 feet monitoring well where they measure VOCs. What my concern is now is, I even told the guy, you know, and I think I asked Bruce to tell the guy, they need to lay plastic 6 mil, put cinder blocks or something flat, you know, and keep the groundwater from going directly through. It'll still go this way, but it's a lot less surgy this way.
Because you got if I remember right, you have the catch basin right across the street.
Yeah,
from there.
well, put it this way, within 20 feet of this is a intermittent stream,
Okay,
so it's a wet one.
and then you have,
That's bigger than the catch basin.
okay, and then you have the Deer Run. I don't know, I assume that's a separate.
Yeah,
basin.
well, I think the Deer Run runs this way,
Okay,
so it's flowing down towards Pulaski. So the flow of pollutant is gonna be downstream of the southern end of Pulaski going towards, if you wanna go behind Hoppin Street, all those.
I have some questions. Have you been in contact with the guy? Has he got an LSP yet? I mean, have
No,
they,
this, yeah.
have they determined the amount of this is supposed to spill or?
Well, no, here's the thing. If
Is it
he doesn't, if he just hires, Tim and I talked about, it. If he hires just somebody that's gonna show me cradle to grave, the ticket for the material.
Where it
retrieval.
went. Where it went.
Yeah, where it went. That would suffice with part of the law, but then that's a good point. When you go to dig up the non-active part is the, you know, the stuff that's in the tank. I need to know cradle to grave, it's oil. I think it's mixed with water, but he said, no, that's fine, it's oil. The problem is, because the guy wants the tanks to make fire pits. The rest of it is what I'm concerned about is where you need the LSP is inside the building, there's something smelling. There's probably spills in there. The whole area in front of the garage and near where the dumpster and wetland is, there are big stains, and those stains are not.
can we make them get clean harbors out there or something?
Well, I got them, 2 people. One was the one out of Forge Park, the other one's Tommy Clark and Matt.
Oh, it was a Wind River
Well,
or something.
No.
so the protocol for this is, look,
Well,
if you think there's been an oil spill there.
Yeah.
the-
Well, I know there is.
The fire department needs to get involved and
Okay.
call it into DP. and start an order there that way. If the fire department determines that, you know, it's not over 10 gallons, is it 10 gallons?
10 gallons for waste.
Yeah.
10. I thought it was 100.
Yeah.
100's virgin.
Yeah, it's 10 gallons.
Well, I can tell you right now.
How are you gonna tell by a stain on the ground? You know what I mean?
No.
Unless it's fresh.
No, I mean, no, it's not fresh. It was there in July. This is a big area now. It's more than
Okay,
10
so,
gallons.
so
I can tell you right now.
what I would do is, why don't you get them involved
Okay.
and have them call the people?
Bruce, Paul,
Let the normal, that's the way it should be. Like any kind of a spill like that needs to go through the fire department. And if they determine it, they call DEP, and DEP comes down. And then the guy's gonna have to hire an LSP.
I mean, because like when you brought up at the last meeting with the pictures of the barrels,
right.
I mean, why even play around with it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't-
Those unfortunately, though, a bunch of were bubbled up like 3 of them. I only saw one, there was 3. But when I shake them, there's liquid in it. So they didn't have them pop. What they did was they expanded, maybe the vent tube, but just leaked the gas.
If you see
I know
anything like that, I'd
sometimes-
call the fire department right away.
You're the permitting authority, it's the fire department, you know?
You don't wanna bother other people.
No, it's not
But you
that.
need to.
I'm just saying,
I know you don't believe that, but I mean, like,
I agree.
other people outside of this building,
Yeah,
like the fire department.
yeah, you have to, in this case, the Board of Health. So
You've identified
I
it.
should have,
And you
I should have
reported
just
it.
called.
And you reported it. Let them determine,
Okay. Okay.
DEP will determine, we'll make him get an LSP if
Oh, yeah,
that's required.
absolutely.
And put any conditions on them. I would just let them handle it.
Okay. Bruce, give, Chris. Well, the other chap.
Where are they?
Well,
Where are they now?
740.
Other than that, 740.
Are they still there?
I don't know. I haven't gone there.
Well, I would.
You got
Just reach out.
down like maybe quarter mile. not
Yeah,
even.
it's where the stream is.
Yeah.
Sandy's.
Oh, it's right after Sandy's chills.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I
That-
would go, like,
that
if I'm
kind of
looking at
basic-
Sanders, is it
That-
still
You're
like-
at, you're at, you're at
Oh,
here.
that old garage.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
there's
The
3 other.
bar, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Garage bar,
the one. With the brick face on it?
yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Well, you gotta go to Pat's house on Miron, that's the nice part.
Okay, we just get rid of it from our bag of.
Yeah,
Shrek.
that's what I would do. I would just follow
That's fine,
protocol,
that's fine.
send it over to them.
Okay.
Yeah, they said I can-
Okay, tobacco regulation to be signed, really. My, Robbie, what's the tobacco agent, updates, regulation to be signed?
So it's not to be signed, it's just to be amended or adopted so that I can send it over to council for final approval.
Okay,
So
is this the one
it's-
that you wrote up months ago?
In conjunction with that, yes.
Okay.
So it's that as well as the new vape guidelines.
Okay, fine.
Excuse me here for a second. So the 2 major changes are under the local regulation section that we
Okay.
presently have. We are adding in the ban of mind altering substances.
Hold on one
Um,
second,
Hold
Robbie.
on.
Hold on, we're
Really lost.
going through here.
Maybe it's in separate to be signed, is that what? it was?
Oh, it might, she might not need a copy of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be signed, I don't believe.
Well,
No, I want to
doesn't
see
we
why
have
it's
to
not
sign
in
it,
here. I
though?
can't find it. You find it?
It's
Not
not
in-
in the fucking document,
It's probably not there.
because it has to be signed.
Not
We
there.
don't have it.
No, there is one document, yeah. But it's for Bill. There's no document.
Oh,
So Rob, we
did
do,
you send it over already, Robbie?
I can send it over to each of you after.
Is there a signature line on
Cause you need us
There
to sign
was-
it, right?
No, it's
Okay,
not to be
approve it.
signed.
Make a
It's-
motion.
Oh, it doesn't, oh, okay.
why don't we approve it
It's-
and then we can come in and sign it?
I was gonna say, it's for you to approve, so I can send it to council for final approval, and then I can get your signatures on it.
Then we'll sign it.
All right,
Okay.
yeah, we can do pre-approval,
Okay.
that's good.
Can I ask a question about
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
document? Is this something that you guys can amend from time to time? Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Oh, you are amending.
Here's what happened. Back in 2018, the
See?
mind altering substance disappeared from our reg.
Oh,
So once we found out about it in 20, we tried to change it, and then 21, last year, we did the amendment thing. And then, I don't know, we had to amend it again because of some other reason, and that's where Rob stepped in and added Delta 8, Delta 9, because the police chief wanted that in there. And correct me if I'm not wrong, even though I had a lot of verbiage. That will cover the mind altering portion of my verbiage?
Yeah, Benny.
I think yes. Okay. I just wanted to say that so I can feel good. Hot massage. Yeah. Anyway,
And then the vaping.
and the vaping, yes, the
Which
vaping,
the vaping, the state had taken it away,
correct,
so we took it away,
right, and now we're
And then
gonna
vaping
add
back.
it in.
and then. One of the
Great.
students came and asked if we could give it back, so we're like, yeah, so we gave it back.
So, can I ask you a question? So this document, so Rob is saying, he needs you guys to make a motion to approve the alterations of of the
The
regulation.
language of the alter.
And then it goes to town council. And does it go to the state too, Robbie?
No, so typically
No.
our,
The Attorney
our
General's
our
office.
tobacco.
It's just our local, it's our
Your local bylaw.
like when you do.
Yes.
We do regulations, it's unlike the bylaw, doesn't have to go to state.
Okay.
Everything at town meeting has to go to state attorney general.
Right, that's, I was just wondering if it had to be. approved.
We do our town council, which is legal, and they do the state. And probably town council's at the meeting, so they approve it. But the state still has to rein in on those articles.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay, so can I ask you one more question about it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it came up. At the end of the regulation on page 11, is, cigar bar.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
We don't allow that. No hookah bars, no cigar bars.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it's a dedicated room with
I
the,
don't think we allow it.
No, because it would be an adult only.
Yeah, adult. only. We don't
No
have it.
adult only.
We had one, then once we get rid of it.
would that be something that you could?
We could amend it.
Or that be something that you could tailor if somebody wanted a permit for that? If they came in and presented what they wanted to do, and
Yeah,
you
I
would
mean,
entertain that?
obviously we'd listen
Yeah.
and.
Yeah. I mean, we would have to weigh in on all the trouble we had with the one adult. We had a year. That was the. You know, where they were, how do I say it? Even if you're an adult only bar, you now have to be 21. Nobody can be in there, and you have to ID check.
Right, well, they would have to do that.
Same thing as a private club. However, it wasn't happening at a one normal
I'll
adult.
tell you, our adult only was a nightmare.
It was.
That's why
Oh,
they
so
decided not
you
to,
would
we're
be-
like, bye.
So you would entertain talking to someone what their idea was?
Yeah, it would have to
I'm
be
just
like,
asking.
I would probably.
Someone had inquired about it and, I looked up and it says prohibited, so.
Yeah,
I could do one thing, a one strike policy, that's it, that's the only way. I would do it.
So you would entertain someone coming in to ask about it if they.
But it would
if
not
they-
be, you know, like 1, 2, 3.
If they were inclined to open a business like that.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of like the old docks in Milford?
Yes, something, I would think if someone, I don't know what they would, I don't know what their, business plan
But
would
you-
be,
you-
but that's what I envisioned.
You,
That's
you know,
what I-
you know, the old docks.
Yes,
It's
it's
not
that- that glass room, the glass
But,
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, docks was a
Big sports-
a very short
Sports
lived.
bar.
Did that though.
It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
It was nice.
Remember that cigar room that was in?
The damn cigar room.
It was in a glass.
Yeah, it was in a
You-
glass.
You could go in there, but you had to be of age.
Right.
But it was all totally in glass and it had a,
Separately ventilated.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't know, I mean, that place.
I don't know what this person is thinking. That's all I could think about it,
It
because
would
that's
have to
really
be
the
by
only one I know.
itself though,
Yeah.
because like docs was different. I mean, that's a long time ago. Things have changed so
The other
much.
thing too, is
That's fine.
when we have bars, there's no smoking for cigarette
I
smoke.
can't see like.
Yeah.
Separately.
Yeah,
that-
in
yeah.
a restaurant or
That's what he would do.
So you have to do it that building.
So you would entertain someone coming into it.
Yeah, I would have to make sure that
If-
none of the
if
duct
that-
is connected to another store.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, that would be fine.
The
Separately,
reason's
you know,
on.
ducted
Yeah.
and heated and cooled, so that would be fine. Very good.
Okay,
I don't know.
so it's not out of the.
It's not out of the realm.
No, but they would need a tobacco permit and there's a race for two of them, right?
Two.
Yeah, but there's two. in-
Oh, well, what if they weren't selling it?
Oh. Well, no, how do you do? You have to check it.
No.
Well, you
bring-
I was going there, bring my own
You
cigars,
bring your own cigar.
you
Yeah,
know,
but so you have the option to buy them?
I don't know what their
But
business.
if you
was.
bring your own cigar, I'm just-
Right.
Well, it would be a bar
You've got one,
too, alcohol,
Oh,
So
okay.
they have
yeah,
to-
so they would make money on that.
you've got that, but you also have a second one that would be selling.
But you know, I'm talking out of turn because I don't know what their business, I don't know. what
Right,
they're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
but if it was a
about.
bar too.
So if they wanted a tobacco license, it's subject to if they
If
want
they're
to.
available, we have a limit though.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look at the rights to see if there's anything in there about that because honestly, no, I don't know.
I mean, they would have to have the ventilation and everything.
Is
Yeah.
hookah a tobacco license too?
No.
Yes.
No, that's just, it's just like.
It's in the
a holiday.
tobacco ring.
Yeah, but we
Hookah-
can't,
hookah-
You can't have a
we
hookah
can't have
bar.
Hooper,
No,
Massachusetts.
absolutely.
I meant.
Well, we were the
Oh,
first
I'm
one to
not-
have it, not have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. we were the first one.
I was thinking all the.
I'm thinking it's all
I don't think there's any of it.
Yes.
But they have, if they have a hookah bar, they probably have a tobacco license.
Right.
Just to weigh in for a second, hookah does fall under the tobacco regulation.
Right,
It's actually
right.
specifically named. Also, if people were to bring their own cigars, it would have to be outside of the building, outside of 25 feet because of the workplace smoking law.
Right, yeah.
So there's some stuff to look into.
Yeah, so it's, I'm just asking if it's a, you know, if it's possible, you know, if you would entertain, listen to someone's business plan.
There's a lot of.
Because the regulation says prohibited,
Right, it does say that,
you know?
we specifically.
Is hookah's illegal in Mass, right, Robbie?
It's not necessarily illegal. It's actually, and that was my next point. There are what they define as smoking bars, which we have currently banned under our regulation. And I don't know if this would fall into the same jurisdiction. Hookah is legal at smoking bars, but smoking bars have very strict criteria given by the Department of Revenue. 51% or more of their revenue has to come specifically from tobacco sales, and any alcohol sales would be incidental at that point. Whereas I know our regulation and the definition given is it combines cigar bar and smoking bars, but I don't know if they're two separate items, or, and again, if the workplace smoking law would also take effect, just because I know that there are other indoor areas that allow smoking, so I don't know what that falls under.
I know there's like, I know there's one right outside the Garden in Boston, there's one cigar bar.
Yeah, I don't think it's damn Mass.
Yeah, no, they're not being, they're locked.
Yeah, no, because I think there's like one or two in like the Attleboro or something like that.
Right.
But I'm just trying to think of,
Remember we had the vaping bar,
Oh, yeah,
or vaping room, whatever
Yeah.
it was back here, do you remember that?
down at this plaza down here, right in the corner.
It was
And
back here.
Used
and
to
it
bring
was-
his kids in the back room, choking like 10-year-olds.
But then when all the vaping stuff changed, it went out of business.
Yeah,
But-
he came to us begging for a special permit, but we said we can't.
So I'll let them know anyway.
Yeah.
If that, you know, if they want to go.
It's gonna be a lot of hoops to crawl through, but if they did get it,
I mean, they are in Mass. I think it's just a matter of trying to figure out how, what, the one I know of is Boston, how Boston works it.
But do they use the same tobacco regs, like, the 1, 2, 3 strike a year? See, I wouldn't go.
I think Boston's so big, they probably don't do that.
But I
Because-
think there's like one or two in like either Attleboro or North
I was
Attleboro.
gonna say, I know this one, I think it's the Attleboro.
Yeah, that we just have to Google search and figure out how they use their regulations.
I didn't mean to sidetrack your process.
Yeah, well, you know what
Came
it
up today, I want to ask the question.
Okay. Okay, so Rob, we're gonna approve the amendment there. Somebody make a motion to approve the regulation. Motion to approve. Adding vaping.
Motion to approve.
Before
Oh,
before you approve it, let me just read it to you.
go.
The two changes that would be made, we're adding the definition of the mind altering substance. So in our definition section, we have that a mind altering substance is any non-prescription product, natural or synthetically created, that does not have FDA or pharmacopoeia approval, that has psychedelic, psychotropic, or hallucinogenic properties. Examples of these include, but are not limited to, Delta 8, Delta 10, and Crown. So that's the one change that we had approved several meetings ago. That's finally in there. And then the other item is page 8 of our current regulations, section I. So where we have that the sale of ENDS products is prohibited within the town of Bellingham. So our electronic nicotine delivery systems is being amended to any person or entity that wishes to sell or distribute or cause to be sold ENDS products within the town of Bellingham shall apply for a separate ENDS permit. Permit shall be issued on a first come first served basis with a cost not to exceed the fee for a retail tobacco permit. There shall be no more than 30 ENDS permits at any given time. In addition, there shall be a non-nicotine vape permit. These permits shall be issued on a first come first served basis. At any given time, there shall be no more than 3 NNV permits. These permits do not abide by any tobacco retailer regulations with the exception of the provisions set forth by 105 CMR 665, which is what sets our minimum age for sales as well as the purity contents.
You, somebody second, because I'm not gonna.
Yeah, motion to approve what Robbie just read. Robbie, you have another career as a storybook here.
Second on that?
Yeah, I second that. And then
Okay.
it was, well, no, we don't have to do pre, right? Because we just heard it.
No, All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. Great.
Yeah,
I'm
make
glad
it
you-
easier for Laura. I'll shoot her an
Yes,
email
I
with
was
those.
gonna say, oh, just a few words. Yeah, right.
How long have you been doing this job for, Robbie?
Tobacco stuff.
Tobacco since 2020.
4 years.
2020. So 3 years. You're running it. 3 years.
Very good job, Rob. You know, I like when someone gets into their science and excels. Okay, thank you. Food inspector updates. We don't have anything there, but anything you or
No, it was the food.
there's nothing.
No, I mean, so far so good with everything. I know I kind of caught the back half of the previous meeting. For going forward, would it be easier if I put together the inspections that I do for the 2 weeks in between or for the month, so that way you guys can have a checklist of everything that's going on?
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's, I think we keep it to monthly, is that good? 2 weeks, okay, 2 weeks, that's fine.
I can do it so that well, basically whatever period of time is there is between meetings. So if it's a 2 week schedule or a 4 week schedule,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
passed
just
in
go by the
between.
schedule then.
I did have one question, and it's kind of based off of what Tim was saying with the system. Could we put the system on a tablet and we do the inspections, inspections via the tablet that has like the little printouts?
That's what you do now, Rob, right?
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
So we currently have
That should
the,
be uploaded.
Back and-
Robbie
I was
has
gonna say-
one right there.
Okay.
It still needs to be uploaded.
That's the old
So we
program, right, Robbie? What Mike just mentioned,
We-
the old program did that, right? You did it on a tablet, you got a printout, right? Or not?
yes, so the old software was integrated with the printer, so it had a way for me to print it on the spot. The new one, I have not found a way to do it without having an internet connection, which is a little tougher because not everywhere has a Wi-Fi service or even a public Wi-Fi service for me to tap into. And the printer does not allow me to get into the Verizon hotspot that the tablet uses or Verizon service. So we're figuring out some kinks, but
Robbie, can't you use your hotspot on your phone? You should be
I
able
can
to.
I cannot use the hotspot on the phone for the laptop. I mean, for the printer. For whatever reason, it doesn't allow me to connect.
I mean, is this something that like you could get like a mobile, I mean, again, I remember back in the day, you had your
You have to get a Wi-Fi printer. Yeah.
Well, we could order one.
Yeah, we
if it's-
You could do that,
if
Rob,
it's
because
really
then
that
it
beneficial.
would make permit ties similar to the old program we had, which had a lot of good quirks.
Can we go back to that, just for us?
We can't, because they,
Then-
right, Rob, the rationale came, we cannot go,
We can't keep track of anything.
We can't keep track of it.
No. we have food, we keep track of it, we want to help.
Well,
Who in the building department cares about food? Who in the?
well, we
Employees
can't
of
answer,
the-
we can't answer questions when people call,
Oh,
you know, it's.
okay, I guess.
One
That's why we're
one
trying
quick
to, yeah, that's why we're trying to make the thing work.
Okay.
Well, two quick things. I am more than happy to give Permitize a shot, but it is very difficult from an inspection standpoint. It's archaic in the way that we have to actually go through and perform an inspection, whereas the system that we were using it's designed the opposite way. Permitize is designed from the permit back, whereas food code was designed from the in the field inspection forward.
Yes,
So it's just a difference of how the systems were set up. When we had food code previously, they did not have a separate license available to be able to see every inspection that's in the system. They have since added that as an option, but if we can get Permitize to do what they were doing, which is going to be a lot, then there would be no issue.
How much
Okay,
is the
Rob.
program that we're using now?
Well, that's what Trish was brought up.
Why are you changing?
Rob, did you get the email from Food Code?
I did see an email from Mike. I did not get a
Right,
chance. to open it
Mike
yet.
is looking, that also includes the housing, code as well with that price, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, we do currently have a quote for them to run, well, we currently have them for housing code, but our housing code does give us access to both.
Robbie, to do what you want to do with the food grading system with that, with having like the wireless, you know, the hot spot, having a printer, and then having the old system.
When you give someone.
Trish and Vinny are talking about, would that help what you're looking to do?
Yes and no. I mean, the workaround that we're currently using is although the permit holder gets access to the report through their login, we also email them the permit on the spot. I mean, the inspection on the spot. It gives us the option from the tablet to do that. The only difference is if they want a hard copy, usually we have to email it to them and then they print it out themselves.
Right, what I'm saying is you want to do the grading system with the A, B, or C. If you were to have the old system that Trish and Vinny are talking about with the resources, you know, the printer and then the wireless hub, would that help you?
Absolutely. It's already designed. It already does it.
Tim, do you know?
We tried to do.
Permit have anything with the housing code?
But he just,
no.
he had just said though that it's shareable.
We can have them.
Right.
Yeah, he just said that.
It's still
Tim,
not.
it is shareable to the town, but it would be using our old system, it's now improved to allow the share.
Yeah, so the town's paying for this other software
I know,
and all the departments are using it, so they're trying to integrate. So
so it's a piece of everybody's
yeah,
budget.
but,
Yeah, but
I don't know what just the food module, are you talking about just the food, module? That,
It's food and housing, that's why. I'm
Honestly,
curious.
he's not doing.
No, but that package that we have
it has both.
includes
You can't
both.
just do food?
You can just do it. probably.
Yeah, housing is important if Bruce is gonna.
No, but we have housing on
Oh,
our,
you do have housing. there.
but, what, you know, I mean, I don't know what it costs you guys. Do you know what the cost is?
Rob, was it like $3,000?
37?
Well, depending on how many licenses you need. If you were just doing food, it would be just the one license. I think that's only 2,000, and then whatever the cost is to have a separate user. And don't quote me on that. It could be off a little bit. I know that we have been operating under the 2 licenses because Bruce and I always had a license. He had housing and I had food. They also offer tobacco now, so they do have all 3.
Which you should do tobacco.
Why
and food,
don't-
because that's what you do.
Why don't we have, why don't we set up a meeting, Rob, and, try to work towards something, you know?
Maybe Karen can-
I mean, I don't know, I mean,
Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
we should, I think we should talk about it and see, you know, what we can come up with.
But the other thing that
Yep.
Tim didn't hear, but I told him earlier, is when you go do an inspection, and there's more than one food temp out, you have to write it at the bottom and then enter it into permit. This other one allowed you to put them right there, and we could see how many criticals were, how many this, so we track people and say, you can't have 3 again next month. It's gonna be closed, you know, because criticals involve water.
I understand that program is tailored more toward, what you're doing, I get that. The issue is, so this is one issue, you're paying, we have 2 sets of, softwares, okay? That's one issue. But the other issue is, whatever you're doing in the field, we need to have reported back into our system. So, I mean, if we can work something that solves those problems, Robbie, I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. We want to do things efficiently, you know? So why don't we talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
tell me a day that would work for you. They do have, well, Mike had recently reached out to Bruce and I because they were looking to see if we were renewing housing. So it's fresh in my mind from having just talked to him. But they did add the secondary license so that anyone in the office could log in and see any inspections, whether it was food or housing related. They could see every report. But they did also offer previously to integrate into our permitized system. So it automatically just upload into the system once they put in.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
systems-
So in the email,
Let's talk about it.
in the email, they break it out, it's 1,800.
The whole object here is to make it accessible for everybody.
Right,
that
so if
answers the
someone,
phone.
if you
So if someone answers the phone and someone's calling, hey, I need to know this. We want to be able to get into the software and say, okay, if it's integrated with it, fine, and it shows up and we give them the information.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
That's what he said. That's,
He says it does now.
It does now.
So that's why I want to see how it operates.
Yeah.
So
because-
Rob, when they told us we couldn't use it because it didn't integrate, now it does. And maybe if they don't mind us spending 2,000 out of
Well,
our budget.
that's on
I know,
me.
but that's
Yeah.
budget, that's ours.
Yeah, yeah,
If it's been two
No, but we
thousand,
saved a ton of money on nursing now,
correct,
and
a ton of
so,
money.
you know,
We got the rate of
But
2,000.
if we can be on top of the permits correctly and we're getting the money in.
I get it.
It just makes sense.
I get it, but that's.
And the other thing too is, it's sort of the town, if we ever go to a rating system or not. Right now, when we get criticals of who's out of temp, he has to write them in, so, you know, it's unnecessary work, and then written in has to get transferred. Like,
So if
Logging
it's,
in.
it's saves.
the other way is, someone can get away with having a whole bunch of off temps consistently, and not, until he picks it up. If he doesn't, because it's written in, it's not the same as pulling it up and going,
Well, that's why I was asking if he had the tablet and the tablet had the system, he can just pull it up right there and
Right.
even show the manager, look on, not 9:15.
right,
Here's what I had.
right.
Okay, look, here's what you have now. There was no
There was
improvement.
no, right.
Or yet you did improve, but not enough. You
No,
still
yeah,
need
you
to
did
strive.
1 out of 3, Yeah, that's a good idea. We should, yeah,
And then if he has the wireless hub, and if he has a printer right there, he can, oh, wait, hold on, let me go to my car.
right.
Let's print it up. Here you go, right then and there.
But I'm thinking most people want to read it, especially when it's not a perfectly passed document. They say, okay, I don't care about it. It's when there's something to correct, you want a copy. You gotta be able to see, to remember, like, hey, we need to correct this. This is probably gonna cost money.
And then again, if we do go to the grading system, Robbie can print it out right then and there. He doesn't have to go back and forth to the office, print it out. He can do it right there.
I wonder what other towns use.
Robbie, are you, if we don't go the food road code, can you still do the housing? Can they be separated so that you get one and not the other if we get?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, housing.
Yeah, they could absolutely be separated. There is a discount for the number of licenses you
Yeah,
have.
that's
So
what
if
I
we only
thought.
have one
Okay.
license, it's a little bit higher.
All right,
That's right.
Robbie, do you know what surrounding towns use for their permitting
You
system?
don't really get it
For food?
For their permitting system,
Yeah,
I know-
Food inspections, food permits, that sort of thing.
Trying to catch it from all.
I was gonna say, I know a number of them actually use food code.
Housing code violation, yes. 42, that's probably not.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It is.
Food code is the system,
It is.
the old one, right?
Yes.
Food code pro is the old one, yes.
Everyone else uses it. I don't know.
Yeah. So just to add, the building code side of housing is gonna be a little different than what Bruce looks for.
Right, but I mean, we're just looking at food. I mean,
Right.
as long as.
But we can get
He could
housing.
do tobacco on that.
He could do tobacco and again, if it links up with
Right.
the permit.
Yeah, I don't know how it was linking up, so that's why I wanna sit down and.
I mean, if there's a rep.
I gotta see it.
Yeah.
Can we make that a goal?
Maybe you put the two pieces.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, let's set some meetings.
Rob, didn't they say they would come and do a presentation?
Yeah, they would be more than happy to come and do a presentation.
wanted to do
From,
that.
again, from the conversation,
Year and a
like,
half ago. And then we said, nah, never mind, we can't use it, But that would be nice to have. a presentation.
Well, and now that they can link in everything, they can show Tim how
I don't know
everything.
how it links properly, though, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
You know, Well, I mean, people are sending in permits, they're getting permitted, permitized.
Right.
He's going and doing inspections with a different software. That's why I want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't know
see
enough about it right now.
if we can get a sales rep out there and sit down with you.
Yeah, Rob, when are you available? I know you're working at the DPW now. Are you doing 7 to 3:30 there? Is that what you're doing?
yeah, I was gonna say basically any day after 3.
Okay.
What are you doing, Rob? Should I ask? I'll be nosy.
I'm general labor at the moment.
Oh, okay,
I think my official term is gopher.
okay, right,
Yeah, that's how it is when you start off, right?
yeah.
All right, so we got the.
You want a physical job, you got it. So,
Yes.
Oh, the list of, bin owners,
Yeah, we got
and
those.
tenants,
Yeah.
And then.
Food grading system was.
Yeah,
Robbie.
that's.
This is a list.
Yeah, we got them all.
I got the list from the school and we have
We
the,
do have monitoring wells, but there's none at 740.
right. That's a list of the different people that Peter provided to me that we can work with.
Right.
No, the serve safe, yeah.
At the school, those are all the serve safe people.
Those are donation bins.
They're all gonna be expiring soon. No.
Ours are too, so keep a track on your card if you got it.
So we on there?
Yeah, Liz Bell is the director. She's the one that doesn't live around here, correct?
That's great.
If I remember her.
She's in Arizona.
I'm on top of that, I got it.
Right?
Well, you know, as all they.
The only thing that they requested is that we give somebody notice so that I need to
The food.
gain access.
Oh, yeah, you need to get into school. Okay,
Right.
that's fine. But
So I
as long
mean,
as-
I can pop Peter a quick note, hey, Peter, I'm gonna be over at the school tomorrow.
Right, and then they could, you resource officer, let's say.
Yep. I've had lengthy conversation with Peter.
Okay, fine.
Let's say we just, when we did them, we just went and like we went up. to
Things
the
have
school,
changed.
Show our badge.
I know things have changed. You can't just walk in anymore.
Well, it's not like any other visitor. You show your badge. Your name.
Well, maybe not, I don't know. Used to be, you could just take the credit card.
Can't do it anymore. No, things have changed, security purposes. A lot of those active shooter cases have made a lot of difference.
Let's move on. How's the intern search going?
Yeah.
We won't know until July. Okay.
So I'll just keep it on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if they're already available, hopefully we can get one.
So the serve safe certifications is, was there a list in there?
Yeah, that's a list of all of the serve safe people at the school.
Oh, the school people, okay, school, okay, got it, okay. So all you need to do, Bruce, is access. and-
Yeah, no, I'm all over it. If I get the opportunity to speak on it, that's where I'm at. I've been meeting with Peter and
Okay,
talking to Liz Bell as to how to get that done so we can keep everybody happy.
okay, got it.
We just have one plan.
No, we have to discuss those.
Oh, by the way, I guess, you seen the DPW list there for,
Change.
acceptable items? By the way, there's one mattress and one box spring.
No.
Where's that? Oh, what they'll take, okay.
The recycle, yeah.
Oh,
They
just a
can do
list
it.
of-
Well, I mean, I don't, I assume since you're on my TikTok, you're on Facebook, you see all the complaints about Harvey on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
That wasn't on Your TikTok, you should.
But it was forced a couple of years ago for the public and the Board of Health.
I just see, I mean, I see the posts on Harvey just nonstop on the Bellingham Unplugged, you know, and then I was telling Bruce earlier.
Yeah.
Well, they just changed the Harvey, like, what, 2
2 years
years?
ago.
It's like
And then it's been a nightmare.
the gentleman that I can speak to the gentleman that I see around my neighborhood,
Right.
you know, is on his phone operating
The big rig.
the big rig, you know, putting trash in. And I understand, you know, what Bruce said with, you know, somebody leaves a bag. But these are bags in the bin that don't make it into the barrel, it makes it into the street.
Right, yeah.
And he drives over it and just ignores it.
Oh, yeah, well.
There's a whole set of rules that they have that
Right,
are very
one
different.
reason I did that in front of my house. I can't tell you what happened.
Right,
I chased them down.
you know, and I'm not at that point, you know, what I ended up doing was I ended up going over there with my shovel and picking it up
Right,
myself.
what I did was, we had Republican, I used to follow the guy, and he'd go to Franklin, because he's going down one point. I made him turn around and go get it. One guy didn't do it. So I turned.
But anyways, my suggestion, because it was my thing that I put on,
Right.
is I'd like to do a group mailing and post it on our webpage. So that people are aware of what the policies are, what they take,
Right.
and hopefully we can cut down on the amount of stuff that's left out, that's not picked up because it's not being properly played.
Right,
out.
but I think it also, I think it needs to be added that, you know, yes, if this stuff was in the back, I mean, it was in the barrel, not
Right.
sitting on, not sitting on
It needs to
top.
be in the barrel with the barrel totally
Right.
closed. You
And that's
can't
what it
set
is.
anything on top of the barrel, or if you're gonna set something beside the barrel, it has to be the proper bag.
Right.
and pick up.
They'll do it right by.
Right, no, and I've seen them do it, you know, the guy down the end of my street had a tag on something from the dump, and they didn't pick it up. And then there's, you know, when the mattress sat out there was within the time frame that we had.
Right.
And Harvey didn't do it. It's again, and this is just the individual that I see because it's on the street that I live on. You know, and I'm watching him throw stuff in and it goes out of there. It was in the barrel. It falls out of
Fell
there.
out of the barrel.
No, one thing further, if it's left out and not picked up, the DPW will not go pick it up.
They will not, the couch is perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, we get a letter to that person, that couch is still out there.
It's,
TV set's going.
Someone probably took it.
I gotta get the address without getting
Still, like, right on the top. So I said, hazardous material.
If you happen, I need an address so we know who to address it to.
Eight
But you
fifty-three.
can't stop or pull over or slow down in that area without, you like taking a life.
I did, and it was dangerous, because
Yeah.
people honking the hell out of me.
So once I get the address, we can send him the letter that he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. 863 was the TV is going.
yeah, the TV was gone, they picked that up.
But I think something needs to be said to Harvey because that is trash being left in the street.
Correct, yeah. Well, this one's out in the woods for 6 months.
I guess us and DPW that should complain then, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I think we
Yeah,
can get
two
Chris on board
different-
with that. Chris from DPW, right?
Well, we
Well-
can have Robbie do it. Robbie, can you put a complaint in to Harvey for us? Now that you work at DPW?
Yeah.
I can imagine it tomorrow.
And the other.
Don't say anything to Chris, I don't want another nasty letter, please.
Rob, I had Bruce call Barbara, and she said the couch, because it was in that wooded area for a long time, DPW would not pick it up. So, Bruce, if you want to verify it, I'm positive it's 853.
It's either 853 or 855, I'm not sure which one.
853.
I think 853 is the unit on the right, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, it is to the right, so I'm gonna say it's their
but I
track.
don't think that's where it came from, I think it's the house, the U-Pack truck.
Which
All the vehicles,
Which one?
855. So you think that's it too?
Oh, no, I don't know which one.
But that's the one that had all the
Next one,
unregistered
you know.
vehicles.
The one next to Bruce, it's in their woods, been there for 6
Well, it's hard because it's a duplex, it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, it's to the, if you're facing the house, it's the extreme
How
right.
about if I send a letter to both of them?
Said, what about that should have been sent out. You know, tired of seeing that couch there. It's been there forever.
Me too, I have to drive by it every morning.
Right, well, obviously, I drove by it today, I said,
My son-
damn, we gotta get that damn couch out. And the only thing I looked for is the TV set was going, well, got 1 out of 2, I should be happy, right? 50%. Yeah. Not my vote, anyway.
You're at 500.
No, I want 100%, you know, trash compliance. So anyway, back to the other thing is, maybe we should send a letter via DPW. The other one via Dennis, because we got rid of Republic because of all the complaints.
Yeah,
So, to Harvey thing, if you pick up trash and your guy shakes it, and doesn't come out, then he start to put it back down, the bag falls out, and you drive over it. I
Yeah.
said, Bruce is gonna be active.
well, it's, you know, and I do know, again, people in my area, you know, because I drive by there, I do see the ones that overfill. These are at addresses where they are not overfilled.
Right.
You know, one of them
Right, I
was a to-go container with, you know, fish and chips and then they had Monopoly money, because
Right.
somebody was like, oh my God, there's money in the street, they're stopping, and of course, curiosity, I stopped, I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck is this? And it
Yeah,
was-
yeah, I know.
it was, you
It
know,
was
so-
real sometimes.
But I had to go out there with the shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the pink ones, definitely.
No, this was actually, it was
The green.
an official motion picture movie money,
Oh.
so it looked real, so I had to go there with the shovel, so they need
So
to,
the point is, I agree with you,
And-
if you're
and-
picking that stuff up, you're upset.
their driver needs to not be on their phone.
Right, right. That's dangerous,
Yeah,
at
just
least they're not
reporting them
moving.
for that, they could get- But
The other thing is people need to know barrel out by 7 and back in by 7.
yeah,
Yep.
they can't leave it
Because
out.
a lot
48
of people are
hours.
leaving their barrels out,
No, yeah,
putting the trash at curb.
because sometimes if it's windy, the barrel floats out in the road.
So what do you, I'm gonna have Laura post it on our webpage, but what, I mean,
I
the
think
general public
Facebook
just
too.
needs to be brought up.
Well, if you look at the DPF website on barrels, it's been a law since the day the barrels came. You can't have it out.
You can put it out the night
48 hours.
before,
You can count the day before, but 48 hours your rule, so.
you're supposed to have it in by 7 PM, and it's not happening.
Maybe Laura can do, she can create like a page to post on Facebook
You want to try to
with
use our,
bullets,
Use
you know,
the,
important information.
use the signboard.
sign,
Signboard.
Is the town have a Facebook page?
yeah, we do, yeah.
The town, the Board of Health,
Yeah.
you know, you have the notifications right on the front page of the town website, put it
Right,
up there.
Well, Board of Health has, I don't know, Kelly helps.
Right now, speaking of the signboard says, stay healthy, get your COVID and flu shot.
Okay, that sounds good. So we can run that for a while, and like I said, we can emphasize trash, you know, don't litter your town. You know. I mean, if it's flashing, even people from another state will see it. They'll say, well. geez,
I think
maybe I
it's
should-
just, there's too much information to put on that board.
The
About
board's
trash.
kind of
I just
limited
wanna
what you can put on it.
You're driving by
How do you
real
make it
fast,
simple?
it's like trash, next time you see, pick out, like, it's just.
I'm hoping you're not saying, if they see trash, they throw it out at them.
they
The one
might-
thing about where it is now, you have to stop at a light most of the time.
Yeah.
So you're actually gonna see the different.
They just put up the trash regulations, see website.
I kind of wish that
Yeah.
we had. a
The other thing
nice
too,
road
is maybe
there,
we move it to a more central location.
Stone and.
Yeah,
Right.
so the construction and
How about this?
low grade, right there, that,
Would save
what do you
more.
call it,
In order to move this, it's registered, but in order to move the sign, you need a fence over. Yeah,
we didn't have a ball.
it doesn't have, it needs a pento.
Yeah, so we should have a ball.
That's how it comes.
Okay, well,
There you go.
so here's an idea.
Number 10, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
hear about this? Bruce can't move it. You know.
I can move it with my tractor, but I put the fence over it, but I don't have a town vehicle.
We should get the EPW or who else is there?
I'm pretty sure DPW would move it if I had.
Yeah, no, I'm saying is we can either have to cut it off, put a ball hitch. Is it heavy enough to require a 2-inch ball?
I don't think,
Probably not.
I don't think we can change the hitch on that.
So 1.5 inch.
You guys gotta get all the lights and everything?
Yes, I always do.
Why-
Thank you.
why-
It's right near the, we call it it's not visible. If you look at that sign now while you're driving, you crash for sure into somebody. You have to stop at the light and hope that the traffic's backed up to the, what do you call that thing? The town common. That's where.
If you, I mean, if you put something up there, you know, trash regulations, see.
Yeah, but I'm
see-
saying,
see
you can't see
like
our
that.
time. It's useless for COVID and flu shot. Buried in on the. So we need to move it from one side.
I think our website and then Laura putting it on Facebook too, but doing it something nice, you know, maybe
Yeah.
throw some colors in there
I
and.
believe there's some
Put the
pages in your
bullet.
packet there that I spoke.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was gonna take those
That way
pages
bring
and
out the-
put them
the
on.
trash, make sure that they're not
Yep.
overfilled.
Yep,
New waste, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
put back,
yeah.
put back out there and.
The big
Why
one.
don't
just to educate them because it's such a.
Exactly.
we, see if we can get the audio visual club who does the.
Oh, do something in color.
No,
No.
do a commercial to run on cable access.
I like that.
Do you watch that?
Old people do,
The old people have the problem.
Right, yeah, it's probably not.
but doctor's offices have it going, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You know, I mean, my dentist, I had to watch that thing for 3 hours, so.
But man,
But
I
I'm
mean,
just,
there's an
Let me ask you
option,
though,
I'm just saying, it's an option, it's.
what you're saying is it's our cable that's run on. 23 or 45.
But again, have the school do it and then put the video on
Oh.
social media pages.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be a live action, just have them sit there and read it and put it up.
Hmm.
Put it, you know, put it up on
That's a good idea.
the picture in picture or whatever.
All right, let's keep it moving along here.
Yeah, can we get Laura to, maybe?
I'll work with Laura.
Yeah.
I can
Try to
look
get-
something up.
Okay.
But I at least posting on the Facebook page, those pages I got just to get started.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
But
I
it's,
mean,
trash has become the #1 priority right now, and I wanna see that
Yeah.
change.
I just think Laura can probably grab some of these
Oh,
and make
Talk about it.
bullets and make colors.
well,
So it
it'll all
stands out.
keep that. Regular bee stings, trash.
All right, so we have the plans.
Okay, so we have, what's
So
the-
that
All right, so MHOA has a conference, February 1st,
okay,
of which I've signed up to go regarding all of the food, the housing code changes.
Good.
They literally started from scratch. Anything that was numbered before is now gonna have a new number, so
Where is it?
it's talking.
oh, yeah, that one's a nice one, I like one, that's an easy one to go. We
Do
just,
you want to?
what date is that, Bruce?
February 1st.
I'll do more of it.
It's, well, if he needs to go, we missed the deadline to sign up, so he's gotta pay extra.
You can do that. So I'm not practicing health aid. Oh, Robbie, I don't know,
He does.
he's gotta go though, right? I mean, he's gotta work though, right?
Alright, so we're gonna make a
Okay,
motion on that?
so.
I'm all signed up already.
Oh.
I'm just making you
Do we have
guys
something
aware
to
that I'm
sign in
going.
here, Bruce?
What's that?
Do we have something to sign inside here today?
I don't know, look in there.
There's an Amazon bill.
It's an Amazon.
Bruce, you signed up, but we have to approve the payment
The
for it?
money.
I've gotta find out what it, I think it's $68.
Alright, so you'll have it going to the next.
If not, I'll pay it with my credit card, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
You
yeah.
don't get reimbursed.
Yeah, but
We just-
If I do, I don't care.
why don't we make it a motion to pay the fee for the MH or housing code?
It's
Because if
something
not, you'll have to pay the other
Well,
way.
something in order sort of to do the job, you need to know the codes and they're all changing.
So motion to approve the HOA.
HOA, yeah.
piece.
Housing code.
Second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. I mean, it's pretty cheap, actually, too. One day, it's still cheap. Hey,
Right,
what
we
was
need
that?
Bill,
Minimal.
They got one
I'd
Amazon,
like to make a
Yeah.
motion that we pay an Amazon bill for $107.73.
those are the
All those
plastics.
in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. There we go. Plans for review.
Yep, one plan, 38 Lake Street.
Any,
There should be a sticker right there on the front with the code you need. It's,
hold it.
15451B.
Want to do it or, whatever? Okay,
There you go.
Thank you.
the stickers are inside there.
I see.
Mike. So, you got it.
The motion to approve waiver, 310 CMR 15405 to allow 4 feet of cover over the septic where 3 feet is required, provided the system is vented.
All right, and second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. Nicely done.
Anything else?
Make a
Sure.
motion.
All right, amending the.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Closing it.
Go to work, Rob.